And if you're just tuning in, I will start this. Bottom right hand corner is a clock at 5 p.m. even. So just logged in a few minutes early to make sure stream health and all my normal checks are good. I just don't want anybody that's freshly watching this video on replay, like he's not talking about nothing yet. But I will be, I promise. Hey, what's up, CVC? Oh man, good work last night, man. That was a great sale auction. I think you had some stuff you were just selling, but I remember most of it was auction. I was tired, man. I didn't sleep afterwards, and I started stocking the store. And when I woke up, throughout to even today, store's like unstocked now. So gotta keep up with stuff. What's up, David? You had a bottle of water here. Wet the old throat down. Or make it every other Wednesday. Whatever works for you. I mean, honestly, my sales will be by flyby. And I actually dug a box out since all the product is not coming in tomorrow. They just shipped it today, FedEx. I don't even know if it's going to make it here Saturday or not. So I got to wing a few things this weekend. If I do a box behind probably about 200 cards, maybe we'll do a sell or auction onto it, something. We'll see what FedEx has to say. I was not paying for overnight shipping because product arriving late from the actual company to the distributors. Today was the first day I ever used not Grubhub, DoorDash. Man, I was just hungry for some Chick-fil-A for breakfast. Man, they had it here in like 25 minutes. On the app, it said, please allow 50 minutes to an hour. I don't even know what's in the boxes. There's hockey and stuff, so I didn't really go through it. I know it's all my 50-cent dollar stuff from the shows. Check that out. My next new light. I wonder if you guys can see that. Let me find a. Let's use this. Just curious. Oh, that does work pretty good. Whoa. Guess I gotta play with it some to figure it out. Okay. That does work pretty good. I don't even know what I was doing there. Alrighty. 5 o'clock. I'll keep it on chat and keep up with you guys. But over the past probably month and a half, I've seen a lot of people discussing one touches and do you ship a card in a one touch or not? So here's the trick to the whole thing. If you're selling a card in a one touch, i.e., say I'm selling that card right there, that Jimenez, I'm displaying it in a one touch. The buyer is thinking I'm getting that one touch. That means I send that one touch with it. You don't, if you show a card in a holder, mail that holder. Even if you plan on taking that card, sticking it into a top loader, and setting it off. I'm just giving you guys fair advice because I'll tell you what, if you sell on eBay and you have that card in a one touch and you send it out and say for some reason it cycles 2 weeks in the mail, that card drops in price, especially on new releases, that buyer is going to say item is not described and they're going to return it. And I can tell you they'll do a PayPal too. So whatever you show, make sure you sell it. As far as for breaks, a lot of people don't use one touches in their breaks. Okay, I'm a firm believer of using a one touch. If it's something worthy of being one touch, you'll see me put it into a one touch. If I have it one handy and close enough with the right gauge. Hence, why BCW, our proud sponsor of Extreme Card Breaks now, has these little gauge things, which is not where we go. They tell you top loaders on the left, magnetics on the right. If you notice, their top loaders are different sizes than magnetics, being that the magnetics are never always going to fit the card perfectly, especially when you start looking at relic cards and thick stock cards like Flawless and T and so and so. So I figured instead of, everybody always talking about it, somebody needs to come out and at least do something about it to where, people don't know they're doing wrong or doing stuff that isn't right. And they need to be taught. I had to be taught at a young age, what I was doing with this stuff. So, I invested a lot in the supplies. So if you're breaking, you put something in a one touch for somebody. One, you got to make sure the card fits in that one touch. No joke. And you can tell if it's going to fit or not. When you put that card down in there and you slide that top piece on, don't go jamming it down in there. If it starts having where it's going to stop, pull it out, get the next gauge. So always, what's up, everyday hustling? So always pay attention when you're handling cards, especially with somebody who has already either purchased in a break or has purchased that card. Key example I'm going to go with, I'm going to try to scratch stuff off as I do this, so I don't lose track of what I'm saying here. Also, if you're going to send a one touch and it's cleaning your picture, don't go send them a scratched up one touch. That is just wrong. Don't go, and I always want to use the word hate. I strongly do not like people that send me cards and scratched up or reused top loaders that are so scratched up it's not even funny. I could tell you stories about guys in breaks that used to buy all these scratched up top loaders dirt cheap and they would put your cards into it. I'm just one of them fans that, if you're gonna do something, do it right so that the presentation looks good. So let's look at shipping on a one touch. So believe it or not, this here fits into the case and everything without knocking stuff over. So I slide, and believe it or not, there is a sleeve on top of this. See, plastic sleeve, so I'm not fingering the card. You want to make sure the card fits in there properly and it's not going to sit there and have a whole lot of wiggle room onto it. What I do, if it's a chrome card or it's an autograph, so chrome means prism, optic, an autograph is on the card. I take a little sleeve and I stick it on top. And I'm going to show you a reason why. And I've seen this happen before. And some people call it myth and legend, but when you've seen it happen, and it takes a little practice to do that because when you try to hit that magnetic on there, trust me, your sleeve's going to move. So, you ship this card just like this, and it doesn't have a sleeve on it, and it's an autograph. Watch this. See, it's moving back and forth. It's slowly rubbing on that card, hitting the surface and everything else. Some people are like, oh, it's not going to do nothing. I could show you a card that was sent to me where it came back a freaking BGS 7.5. And it was all because of that. So, just because you put it in here doesn't mean it's secure enough to ship. And then you got to look, is it wiggling? I mean, you can tell when you shake it. These little things right... Okay, let me go like this because I don't know what that says on there. These little things you get right here are great to pack with. They're blank dummy cards. Or, let me make sure I used this. Okay, I did. Yeah, I'm going to go like that because it's still out for redemption. Or these expired redemptions, once they're done and used, they come on thick stock cards that you could use to place it on there. But my honest opinion is I don't like sending stuff in a one-touch unless it's secure and snug. Normally, an NT or Flawless that's already not in a case, I'll put in there. I got Flawless comes encased with cards and they bounce around and everything inside. There's not much you can do unless the person wants you to rip it out and put in there because they want it with that sealed panini onto it. So take care of your cards, especially with shipping, because these things move around. They even make one touch resealable bags. So you could put this and stick it on in there and it'll kind of give a tight grip to it and everything. I normally will not ship into a one touch at all. I will usually put the one touch in the bag for somebody and they can load it in whenever they get it, unless it's too thick of a stock to where even between a 240 and a 360 point gauge, there's too much room into it. But that's why you got to have a ton of supplies whenever you start dealing with stuff like this here. The other option you have is you can take your thick stock out, and they got these cool things. You got the hinge box, or they have the slider boxes, but the sliders are all in back order. You can stick it in there, put one of these here on top and on bottom, make it nice and tight. And you could even take, if it's still jumbling around, take a sleeve, roll it up some, put a little piece of tape on, stick it on there, and it's going to help with the compression. You're going to have a blanker on top so it's not touching that card surface at all too. So that's another idea you can go with on stuff like this here. I prefer to always, depending on the card, I'm going to be honest with you, I will always top load and send you, like I said, the one touch with it if I have that size. It's going to fit it. You could use painter's tape, but I highly suggest not to do that onto one of these because you see how it slides back left and right. It doesn't go up and down. But I can tell you now, I have seen people just send it just like this, and post office is banging this thing around, it busts open and the card falls out. It happens. Then all of a sudden that card's ruined and the seller's in for a little bit of trouble after that onto it. I would never put painter's tape on one though, but I've seen people where they painter tape on the sides and they put one on top. You'll see guys who have their labels or stickers put a sticker on top up here to try to hold it in place and stuff like that there too. But I'm telling you, still is some give on to it. And these are all the different sizes that you could buy. I think there's 360s in here. You got your 35 pointer, which is more like for your Bowman paper. 55 pointers are going to be prisms and stuff like that there because they're a little bit thicker stock base onto it. 75 pointer, 100 pointer, 130, 180, and 360. Now I will tell you, Ultra Pro has 240s or 260s, something like that, because I have those in back too. Then you got booklet ones and everything like that as well. But since everybody was sitting here talking about this more and more over the past little over a month and stuff, I figured I would do a little how-to whenever you do this stuff. And even if you put this into a team bag, I would still suggest putting cardboard on top and back of this and giving it a little bit of extra protection, just like you see me do with just regular cards like this here. I cut these boxes up just like this. Put one in here, size it up pretty nice. Gives it a little extra support for shipping. There's all kind of different methods out there. I'm not saying mine are 100% right, but at the same time frame, I've seen it where a lot of people will stick their Chrome cards in this, and it does not make it a good shipment method. And that goes, like I said, Prism, Optic, whatever it may be. I will ship those stuff like NT, as I said, Flawless into this. Probably triple threads, depending on, no, not triple threads. I can't remember what it's called. Diamond Icon, stuff like that there. Because the card manufacturers themselves, believe it or not, every one of their cards are different thickness and stock. Some fit perfectly, some don't. It's just takes a long time to get it down packed, and by looking at a card, oh well, this looks like it's a 100 point. Yep, you could do double bubble envelopes. That's what I do. I mean, you know what I would do, I'd stick it in this. These bubbles I don't think are the best at whatever they use this time, and I take it and I fold her up, boom, and then I'll stick it down into another bubble envelope afterwards. There's a lot of methods behind it. I'm one of the people that if I start seeing the thing going over a pound, you're getting a box from me, because now I can pack all that bubble wrap around it inside with it being inside a bubble envelope, and it just makes it more secure. You would pay more for shipping to come out to you, Hubers, if you bought a one touch off me. That's going to cost you probably at least three and a quarter to ship it to you. You're better off the next time we do it. Trade. Uh, I I have one touches, but I don't keep a high stock of them anymore. It would depend on the size, to be honest. I mean, if you're talking about a 35 pointer, I might have a few extra behind me. I'd have to look. This was just a sample kit they sent me, and I just haven't put it away yet. I mean, you could always just go on to BCW, buy one, have it shipped to you. It's going to pretty much cost about the same amount by getting it from me. The other thing I'm going to just say, this is something I noticed with a lot of rouses lately. PSA. You guys notice these things aren't real thick, okay? I have seen more people sticking this card just into a bubble envelope and mailing it, and them becoming broken. Cracks in the cases and everything. When you ship something like this for PSA, I make it a habit on everything. Cut some cardboard up on top and bottom to give it a little more force, because God, if a truck's going to run it over, either way it's going to break. But from them guys throwing stuff around and being jammed, you want to give it every bit of protection you can. You can try the bubble wrap too around it. I just always use cardboard. Depends on the base card. I mean, if you're talking Bowman paper, I'd probably say 35 point. Some Topps Chrome are 35 point. Some Bowman Chrome, depending on to it, might not fit into a 35. You might have to use a 55 pointer onto it. If you're talking Prism or Optic basketball or football, you're more than likely probably going to have to use a 55 pointer just to make it not be scrunched into there. Because if you remember back when screw downs were out, that people used to crank down them things, and it ruined a lot of cards. A lot. But you can pretty much tell I don't have anything that would be able to be used right here for thickness on the stuff. It's just for me doing it. And when you're sitting there, putting cards into top loaders, like this is a 35 point top loader, it's not a lot of room. And when you're trying to jam a Prism card in, it'll go in, don't get me wrong. But if you sit there and use a 55 pointer, you got a little bit more room for it, and it holds better, and all you got to do is team bag it afterwards. All that stuff there is just, stuff from breaking for, I don't know what it is, 4 or 5 years now, something like that. And you start learning things, and you'll see how other people do it. And sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's probably mediocre, and I'd say probably 50% of the time I see stuff shipped poorly. Very, very poorly, and from people that, some people don't really spend a lot of money. I see people that, spend thousands of dollars a day, and they just ship really, really, really bad. But I know everybody was debating on, do you ship a card in a one touch or not? It's really on the preference of the person doing the shipping. to me, just from the time that I've seen, with things that have happened with other people and they had to do refunds or go buy another card to replace it, I more than likely will stick it into a top loader, into your stack of cards, and I'll just send a one touch with it. You can put it in afterwards type deal. But I'd probably say in the course of the year, cards into a one touch that I'll send is probably less than 2 dozen. And it's mostly just due to, being a thick stock card, and that's the only thing they bought, and you got to worry about, okay, is this going to ship good with just cardboard and this here, or does it fit securely to one touch with a sleeve on it? But always be aware of what you're doing when you're shipping somebody's stuff. Now, like I said, if you sit there and I display this card in a one touch, my buyer thinks they're getting that one touch. Send a one touch with it. But if it's all scratched up and crappy looking, replace it. Just replace it, because you in a long run somebody could say that it's damaged and stuff like that and get their money back in a heartbeat, even though it doesn't affect the card. But I figured I would do something quick today because it's just been little things like this that I keep seeing happening out there, and I figure maybe people just don't know. They're they don't do a lot of shipping for cards, with it, and it's all a big learning game. Sometimes it's an expensive learning game. It really, really is. What's up, Brian? I was just going on with the so there was people been talking for like probably the last month and a half with that when I go in these rooms about shipping cards and one touches and stuff like that. Mostly if you hit a card in my break, I might put it in a one touch, but I'll probably ship it in a top loader with the one touch. Depending, very rarely do I ship it with a one touch. And I think I've only shipped 2 cards this year in a one touch. I know one was a LeBron because it fit better in it, and I felt more secure than it just being a top loader. And I want to say, oh, the other one was a real thick card. I think it was like a 240 pointer or 360, something big. I just remember it was really, really thick. And these were in such high demand you can hardly ever find them to put stuff in. And yes, if you do ship into one of these little snap tights or the ones that slide down, use your blue painter's tape onto it so it's secure. You don't have to worry. But other than that, I don't really have much for tomorrow. Like I said, all my product just got shipped today. Thank you, Panini, for a late shipment. I do appreciate it. So hopefully, I know FedEx used to deliver when I lived in Elizabethtown on Saturdays. If it comes in Saturday, we'll have a little probably mid afternoon, late early evening little look see, and maybe come on if you guys want to buy any of the legacy boxes. I'll have them and stuff. Oh man, no, they're really not. I was showing how they slide left and right and stuff. I see them bust open on people that don't pack them properly, and then all of a sudden, a couple $100 card to thousands of dollar card is ruined, and all it starts is a big, huge, long process. And as a seller, I'm one of them people. If I'm sending you something that's valued over $300, I'm paying for insurance. I'm not going to charge the other person. I'm paying for it, because if something happens along the way, it just opens a big can of worms. And I will say, 9 times out of 10, there's a lot of hurt feelings that go on with it. Normally, it's a seller because they've already probably spent that money or something, and they all blame the post office. But yeah, anytime, like I said, you guys put something in one, I put a sleeve over it. It just helps in case it has an auto. I've seen it wear off big time. Oh, what do you know? What day is the 27th? No kidding. They're actually going to deliver to me on a Saturday. That's amazing. FedEx. I guess you will have product. We'll find out that morning if it's out for delivery. Hey, I can't tell you how many things, especially with selling boxes and stuff of cards. I mean, unless that box is NT, because those things are solid. I will always insure it. I insure almost everything I do anymore. Like I said, over $300, it's being insured by me if I sell it. Now, if you hit something big in the break, to an extent, I'll put insurance onto it. After that, it's on that person's responsible for it. Show you my new toy, Brian. You'll like this. Been waiting for a while for this. Has a light onto it. Check this out. You can see a lot better in trying to put the well, for the jeweler tool it's easier for me to see, but for something like this you can really pick it out. This is how you know when you get old. And it's funny is as I put it up closer the less you can see it, but probably about right around there is where you can start telling stuff. But new toy, new toy to play with. And I see I got a letter in today both from SGC and PSA. SGC is working longer hours and bringing people in on weekends to grade as they train their new 20 some employees. They're already in their new building, they've been in it for a while. PSA has been hiring, they even sent out job offers or whatever applications if you want to go work for PSA. But they have now, thankfully, have taken the word of advice off the surveys they sent everybody. They are working around the clock, 24 hours a day, multiple shifts to catch up, and weekends. And they hired, I forget what it was, something like 30 temporary employees to handle like logging stuff into the computers to shipping and all that. I think it has actually. I mean, they came out and said that if you're doing bulk order or quarterly specials, that's what's holding everything up mostly, and those are going to be put on the back burner until they can get everything else caught up to the 30-day submissions. And I understand completely. And they said their biggest holdup is 2000. I think they said 17 and up. Let me look here. I got that one here. I was just reading it earlier. Steve Sloan. He says 25 more employees to our core operations plus dozens. Oh, plus an extra dozen temporary hires. They have now started working around the clock with newly implemented weekday swing shifts and additional weekend hours. I mean, it's kind of crazy when I read this. All I mean, oh, here it is. The backlog is ultra modern cards, which is they're considering 2017 to present. And what it was they had this big value service out there. And now they upped it. It's really making people mad. Really making people mad on it. But I just send them all 30-day and pay the $20. But it's all them ones that are like bulk and stuff. But basically, you gotta send either 25 or 50 in. I'm luckily they got my quarterly in, but they haven't touched my bulks yet. I think they only got 4 orders left that they need to log in PSA. Oh man, it's every day. As soon as I log in the work computer at 7:30 in the morning, people are angry, and I get off work and I bounce around between streams and Raz rooms and stuff like that. Man, people just get mad all the time. I just think if you're gonna do something, do it right or do it to your best ability. And if something goes wrong, learn from it. Granted, like I said, there are a bunch of highly trained scammers out there. That's why I'm really careful anymore. Even selling raw cards, it's especially if you're doing the eBay method, people are switching them out left and right. That's why I only really do a lot of whole high dollar stuff on it. I try to make sure the card's serial numbered or now going to be graded. Advanced aged, huh? I've advanced a lot in my age. I used to be an angry person, probably until I'd probably say somewhere in 2008 when I realized I didn't have to get mad all the time to get my point across when I was a drill sergeant. That I had enough fear into people that I didn't have to yell all the time. And that way, when I did yell, they knew I was really upset. And half time, I just look at them like, downstairs formation now. Like, oh crap. And I just take them out to this big pit out there. And if I didn't want to make them do a whole lot of exercise, then I'd make them pick all the grass out of the field. And that would usually take 5, 6 hours. Depends on what the price jumps on. The ultra modern cards for bulk, that's fine. They didn't change. Let me see if I can find it on here without. Oh, here we go. Well, there we go. The only thing they changed was a lot of their other stuff, but the economy and up that people paid for are still the same. It's different when I pull it from my phone. See, economy's still $20, up to $4.99 value. What they're talking about, they changed from what I was seeing. Let me. I can't do this without flipping my finger around here. Is this right here where people were doing bulk onto it? The ultra modern cards went up to $15 per card for 50 to 99 of them, and $12 for 100 plus. And this is the stuff here that they uh, raised up. I don't use the service, so I'm not really worried about it. I have the membership. Um, granted, I got 15 free cards out of it graded at a $20 value. So what is that? $300, and I paid $250 for the membership. So I saved $50 by getting a membership on those graded cards. I get a backpack, and they sent me some other stuff too. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, you'll be waiting forever, CVC. That's what they came right out and said that they're way behind, and it's basically because everybody was submitting in the quarterly specials and all those bulk services, and they have a chart showing what they've received in between them all and stuff, and it's insane the amount that's came in since February. Mine's December and January for bulk. Now, like I said, my quarterly special for the '80s got logged in, but there's no guaranteed time onto that to where I can wait 100 days, 200 days, whatever it may be. But as long as they have your package in, and even if it's not logged in yet, they're going by the date that's stamped on your thingy that you shipped it. So you can still have the old prices too. It just that they just been holding it forever. Because I asked that question, am I going to be upcharged because you guys have been holding this stuff behind? Nope. I'll start after this date here. I'm like, works for me. No idea. Trust me, the questions that we raised before with them all was about if you're so far behind, why not have different shifts working around the clock, swing shifts, and all that stuff, and off and do the weekends. And they've started that now, so maybe they will stop bulk. Who knows? I mean, they took what they were supposed to use a space in their building down there. I guess they built onto or something. It was saying it was supposed to be like this operations room, and they scrapped it, and they're making it more into for grading and stuff like that, so they can, with all the new employees, be able to get this stuff moving. I still submit, David. I still submit. Everybody's behind. And the thing is, if you wait till they get caught up, it could be 6 months down the road. It could be 6 months down the road till they get caught up, and I'm not going to wait 6 months. My stuff will be logged in before then. PSA on average is logging stuff in. It's taking anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks right now, minus bulk orders. My quarterly special took about 3.5 because they have either spent a lot of money and paid for a higher premium. I mean, Beckett's the biggest one of them all. I could do a 2 day for $50, or I could do a 30 day for like $30 and wait 45 days. I'll just pay the other $20. That's why BGS is that way. BGS is straight 1 day, same day, 2 day, and 5 days are all getting their priority. And five might take 6 or 7, but that's the latest they're going on to it. PSA, there's been a couple of shows here recently, but I don't think PSA's been at any of them. I'll have to look at their calendar. But there's guys who will pay $100 to get a card graded. Yep, you jump the line because you're paying for a higher service. The lower you pay, the lower down that totem pole you are right now. A 10 day BGS took like 30 days for me. No refunds, no I'm sorry, nothing. I mean, literally, you're at the mercy of the grading company as soon as you mail it out. You never know when it'll come back. Just like SGC, I mean, I was supposed to have an order pop today. Nothing. Nothing at all. And SGC's already sitting there saying they're already in their new building and doing all these great things since the beginning of June. And I don't know. I don't know. If Charles was on here, he does a lot more SGC than me. I only got a couple orders out. But it was my first one. Like I said, it's supposed to have been popped today, and that was more of a test run to see exactly how their points are in grading and stuff, so I can kind of get a rough idea before I start sending anything else in. But I still sent two more orders after, just so I can have stuff roll in. I mean, there's people out there that do the bulk submissions, and not the bulk like you see in the site. They pay some crazy fee to them, and they get like a special marking system, and they get their stuff logged in a week. So if you find one of them people that are only simply grading and collecting everybody's cards to send to PSA, their stuff gets logged in a little bit quicker too. Yeah, they are getting buried alive out there with their orders. I mean, they said that they already moved in their new building. I forget what I read. It was beginning of June. They already moved in their new buildings. They're working extended hours during the week and offering weekend to their people to come into work too. I don't know. I don't see much more being done on to, at least for my orders that have been sent through. The one thing I will say I like with PSA, they at least have a little tracker. I mean, it doesn't help much that almost all the categories are 100 plus, but I mean, when you're looking at a 30-day taking 43 days, it's been that high before. I mean, when it was saying 70 some days, that would make you cry. But on average, their 30 days were taking anywhere from 28 to like 35 days last year, I would say. I think they'll raise it before January. But then if they raise their prices and they're still behind, might as well just go with PSA if you want to get value out of it. I don't, because a lot of places won't take donations. Now, really, a lot with COVID. Oh, man. Last one graduates tonight, huh? Whoo! I know what it means now. I'll let you know in 11 years I'm done with my child support how it feels. I'll be old then. Have a good one tonight, Brian. But what I do is with all my base cards, I got a guy that's on sports lots out here, and I just sell them to him. Buy the huge monster box full. There ain't much you can do with them anymore, unless you want to pay like mucho money shipping them to places that'll like. I forget what the one place was that wanted to buy all my Prism and Optic and Bowman Chrome stuff from me, but I was like, it's not worth it. I do. I'm one of the early people that were on my slabs. Mr. Greeny runs that. I known him from Breakers TV way back in the day. The name was always out there. He does a good job with it. I mean, he's a one man working crew really with that whole thing. I know he has people helping him with like social media and stuff like that, but I mean, he sits there and goes through everybody submitted pictures and all that. He did a good job. He's been working on the coating onto it too. I mean, when he started, it was just slabs. Then he added to where you could drop down to the sport, and then he added wax on there. You give him about another 2, 3 years, that's going to be great. Oh man, and 1% ain't nothing. Yeah, he found my video I did a long time ago. I would say the video is a couple months ago. I did. I was never a seller on there. I was a buyer originally, and I think he didn't know who it was, and they posted it on their like their Facebook page, and they found it. And I said, I said, "Oh, that was me, man. I'm sorry. If you want me to take it down, I was just showing people from my website how to get to it." He's like, "No, this is great." I'm like, "Okay." I was just showing them how to get to it so they can look at cards. I think it's a great idea what he did. I'd like the guy who made his own cards up of freaking like made up fantasy baseball teams that incorporate animals, and he was doing crazy buybacks on. Tell you the stuff I see and read, it don't surprise me no more. It does not surprise me. If you really look at Brian Gray that runs Leaf, when he first started his buybacks were smoking. Now, I mean, you if you could get 70% of what you pay for a case, that's a good break. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've been always a PSA set guy, only because that's what I started with. And back in the day when I had them grade cards, they ended up putting them in their magazine back in the day. Yes, PSA had a magazine back in the day, just like Beckett. And then I just always liked and enjoyed it. Man, PSA has really changed their labeling. I think if PSA could use a little bit thicker of a plastic onto it, and they do a little bit different with their labeling, they sent out a questionnaire a couple weeks ago about how changing their labeling and their format and all that, and they had some good stuff onto it. Good stuff. That I think his name is Steve Sloan or whatever it is. Whoever he's brought in recently with these new ideas within the last probably month or two or three, not bad ideas at all. Changing some stuff up. I mean, Beckett's even changed through the years too with the way they slabbed. Yeah, I bounce back and forth with my slabs. I'll throw stuff on there when I know it's selling and it's hot, really. Right now, like Trey Young, a lot of the basketball is pretty hot. So if I put a Zion on out there, it sells in 24 hours. Yeah, it does help. That does help a good bit. But I remember bulk submission at PSA being $5 a card. $5. And it used to be 45 days. 45 days. When I first deployed to Iraq, I had my wife doing it, man. She luckily her dad at that had his own sports card shop, and she had to work it and stuff, so she had a good understanding on it. And man, she would just pow. I had probably 700 cards she sent in. I remember Tough Stuff, Sports Card Collector was another, or Sports Card Collector magazine. Then you had your Beckett's. There was another one that was out there too. Those were like the three most. So you would go by Beckett, then Tough Stuff, then Sports Card Collector. And Sports Card Collector magazine was the same as Tough Stuff. It had all the sports in it. There was another one. I can't remember what the other one was called. But I remember everybody in the neighborhood. Brian used to get the Sports Card Collector. Another kid grabbed Tough Stuffs, and I was the Beckett dude that would always pick up Beckett magazines because I'd go up to the mall and grab them from Tobacco Village. That might have been it. Sports Card Digest. I think that was the one that had the big hard book that came out every year too. I still have a lot of my old Beckett magazines and Tough Stuffs too. You used to know, man, when a guy was coming to your table and he had that rolled up freaking price guide in his hand, he was going to be a stickler on everything. I used to get a kick out because everybody's definition of mint, near mint, excellent mint, and everything was all different. I never really got into comics till later on. And the only reason I even got into comics, I had a bunch of He Man, and I had all of them from the first issue on. And it was He Man, G.I. Joe, X Men. There's another one I was getting too. I don't think it was Thundercats. Oh, my computer mouse went to sleep. The other one I streamed from, that was weird. There's another one, but yeah, that's the only reason why I had them. When I was in Hawaii, I picked a whole stack of Superman, Batman, and crazy stuff up back in the day. There was like Richie Rich and Garfield. You used to be able to pick those comic books up in the late '90s. I mean, guys would have remember them boxes, reams of paper would come into. You could go out there and buy a whole box of those for like 20, 25 bucks. Spawn. I remember Spawn. I remember when they came up with a Swamp Thing comic book. I remember when they had He-Man fighting Superman in a comic book. As a matter of fact, that was a weird comic. I used to do comic book breaks. I know I had like 3 or 4 people on. I don't even know what's in the box. Let me look, see what's in this box since I'm here and on and live. Dude, I have no idea what's in this. People go through this stuff all the time. Melvin Gordon. What the heck is this? Alexander Matheson, Barry Bonds, Sheffield. Whoa. Rob Evans, Mike Conley. Oh man, Milos Teodosic or whatever his name was. Hockey. Oh, that's all gonna be hockey. There we go. Team Pinnacle, Bo, Solomon. There's so much stuff in these. There's some football. Cam Newton, Rivers, some Jordans, hockey. Frank Gore, Eifert. Is that a rookie? Oh, second year. Boyd, Brett Phillips, Black Paper, Banda, Dragons. I got a whole box behind me though. I might do it tomorrow for a little bit. Let's see who pops on. I don't know what's in. Oh wow, there's a lot of football in here. Another Rab, Bonds, Delmonico. That'd be the refractor. Barkley, Love, Reggie, Keenan Allen, Ramsey, Chris Webber. I think that's his rookie. Dennis Smith, Cousins. There's another Eifert. I have 2 of those. Huh. Thielen, Warner, Lawrence, Samuel, Ursa, Sanu, Eddie George, Mike Evans. There's an old Derek Thomas, Rosario. You can tell these are no specific order because people go through this stuff. Oral Hershiser, Clemens. There's a Roberto Alomar, Wade Boggs, Tettleton, Kelly. Another Hershiser, Abreu. I might just start it by going with something like grabbing a stack of about 10 cards and just doing a blind auction on screen. Oh, yeah, we could have fun with those boxes. There's probably at least 400 cards in there. Maybe I'll do an early auction tomorrow. If not, maybe I'll just do a Saturday afternoon or something. And I have no idea what's in the boxes, too. That was the first time going through it. I used to just top load it and look at it and say 50 cents, dollar, $2, and throw them in boxes and take them to shows. If it wasn't going out to get graded or to eBay or something, yeah, I wouldn't even know. I'll just grab a stack out and count them off. Be like, here you go, stack. No idea what's in it. And all four sports are in there. There's hockey and everything. I mean, you win an auction for a couple bucks, you can get $10, $20 in cards easy. Oh, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I just grab stacks. I know there's hockey in the boxes though. There's a stack of Prism basketball rookies, but there's probably like Garland and people like that there that weren't sent out to be graded or sold in the store. I'm trying to think what else think is in those. Might see some Bowman Chrome action in there, some C.J. Abrams stuff like that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do it just to wipe them boxes clean. Less I gotta look at every time I turn around in here. Everybody wants the optic. Everybody wants the prism too. Two hot commodities. I just wish my stuff was coming in tomorrow, man. I wanted to see that legacy football. I could wait an extra day though. I got nothing this weekend to do except for tomorrow. I go to this. we're all teleworking, but yet we're going to do a function at the lake down about 20 minutes down the road from me. There's a lot of prism in there. Not just for me opening stuff because I get bored. And I have no idea what's in those boxes. Like I said, there could be, somebody had turned around later in life. I mean, you've seen there's some Jordans, but I'm pretty sure all the Jordans were just non-gradable Jordans. I just got to watch because I know in one of the boxes I had some non. Well, how would I word this? If you remember back when Jordan started baseball in the 90s, there were like non-actual licensed Jordan cards out there, and I'll have to go through them just to make sure those aren't in there. I know there was a few. I like optic, but I'll tell you they're hard to grade. Very, very, very hard to grade. Especially when you start getting into hollows and stuff. All those printer lines onto them. Yeah, the off-brand Jordans. I'm sure I can find them when I go through them. I just don't want to pitch those out to anybody. I know they're in one of those boxes behind me. And I'm not talking about like the Nike cards of Jordan, stuff like that, or Star, but these were just like blank backs that somebody made up and was selling, like the 86 tops looking Jordan. I know there's one of those in there. I think it's the first evening. I'm not even really hungry, but I know I gotta get some dinner here shortly. No, thank you. I don't need a COVID-19 loan. Another spammer on my phone. Man, after Gorilla got off today, nobody was on. I kept looking every about 30 minutes to see if anybody was streaming to put something on in the background. I got stuck listening to some crazy songs. I almost was going to play one, but then I'd get banned on YouTube. Put these back in the old drawer. If I can get into the drawer. That stuff being moved around all day. Is it? I got different. Well, see, the thing is, if they're, I have two on here showing, but on the XSplit I'm showing six, so four people don't have YouTube accounts. That's what's good about XSplit. I could always see that stuff. Man, I lost all track of time last night. I forgot to cover my grill up. I mean, it didn't rain or nothing. I'm not really worried. Yeah, two shows on YouTube, but six on XSplit because they don't have YouTube accounts. So more than likely, they're either people from Breakers TV, people browsing on their phone that are not logged in, or I don't know. Maybe it's YouTube watching me. Maybe it's Mr. Beast and he's going to generously donate $5,000 to me in the chat. That would be funny. What's up, Chat Town? What's up, Greg? I get some of the weirdest things come across my phone. Uh oh, new Tops release update schedule. I don't know what changed. I think Top Sterling Baseball. You trying to get one of them boxes, man? I don't even know how much they sold for. Retail's already out, huh? Yeah, I know Walmart told me I'm on back order till like I don't know when. That means I'll start seeing them in the Raz room in about a week or two, whenever Top starts shipping them. And I'm guessing everybody's going to want 4 to 5 times the value. Okay, there we go. 400. I was pretty close, almost 3 times. Mm-mm. Yep, I definitely. I know they came with an autograph per box, I believe, if I recall what I read on them. Yeah, I won't. 400 is way too high. I wouldn't even give 40 per on them. That ain't bad. Who's the hot rookies? Did you open them already? Oh yeah, you did. You said you ripped them. Who's good in it this year? I don't even know. I haven't even looked if the checklist was out. Man, that camera just picks up every little piece of dust out here. I will probably get into 2 or 3 breaks, and that'll be it. And I'll be selective on my teams. I mean, I'm sitting on like 50 Aquino rookies behind me and 50 Bichettes. Oh, is it? That's what I figured was in it. Let me see if they have the checklist up on Cardboard Connection so I can glance at it. Cardboard Connection. Oh, there's the Sapphire Bowman. Find this? No, they don't. Wow, that's kind of weird. Baseball 2020. There's Dynasty. Huh. 2020 Tops Throwback Thursday baseball cards. A set of 26. Oh, here we go. It is added right now. Let's take a look. Product details. Oh, they got the Celebration of the Decades tickets. Next, the checklist. How far down? Oh, there it is. So, Mr. Robert is right there on top. Nope. Nope. He might be the only chaser just scrolling through this quickly. Oh man, Yu Chang's in this. He will haunt me. Mm-mm-mm. Man, that's a big checklist. Oh, Jose Rodriguez. Hmm. Only a couple base variations. Oh, there's a clear set. That'll be some money there. No, it's not Julio. It's another Jose Rodriguez. Wait, I'm still scrolling though. Well, big autograph list. Jeez, oh man. I didn't even know. Oh, I think Louis was up top. That's probably why I skipped over him. Oh, there's future stars too, huh? Laybuff for the D-backs might be decent too. I remember his stuff from Bowman. Yeah, I don't see much other than Louis. I mean, is TJ Zook? Doubt it. Heritage Miners? I don't know. I'll tell you here in a second. I have it on order. Sign in. I know I ordered miners. I don't know. I might just tell Walmart to keep their stuff and just buy the White Sox in a break or two and be happy. My account. I'm not used to doing this on the phone. Open orders. All right, let's take a look here. Archives. Triple Threads, Luminaries, Bowman Sterling, some Garbage Pail Kids, Topps Chrome, Absolute Baseball, which I'm scared of. Heck, I didn't put Stadium Club on order this year. I don't know why. The retail has. People have it already. iMac Heritage High number is August 31st. Heritage Minor League Baseball, September 23rd. I thought I ordered 2 cases of this. There's so many boxes in a case now. Oh, I must have only got allocated one case. Thought I ordered two. At least I got a case of it. Yeah, I don't know about. I think I'll just scope out the White Sox in a break or two of Series 2, and I'll be happy. I'm not going to chase the autographs or nothing. I just know I had a big donut on it for hobby. For the price of a Series 2 hobby box, I probably can get the White Sox in a break. And honestly, I'll probably wait for about 3 weeks to pass, and I'll catch somebody on eBay with them. Wait till right around Topps Chrome release date, and then everybody will still be breaking Series 2. Won't be getting as high as they were then. Yeah, chat found some today at Target. That's kind of crazy that Louis is the only one in there, really. Unless that Lebja, whatever his name is really good. I don't know. Lebia. I forget. I have to look at the name, but something like that for the D backs. The rest of the names, I mean, I recognized a couple of them. I think Duggar Nunez for the. I think he played for the Rockies. I need to go look and see how they're doing this baseball season because if they're going to use expanded rosters or not, if they are, whew, that may be crazy. Oh no, they won't cancel update. No, if they can only find one player to put in it that makes it worthy, they'll do it. I thought I saw that name on the checklist, Jack. I thought I did. I remember looking across there and I was like, let me see if I still have it on here. I don't. Probably be like 4 or 5 back. GTS Cardboard Connection. I thought I saw that name. I could be wrong because I got all excited because I saw Yu Chang and he'll haunt me. I don't want GTS. I want Cardboard Connection. There we go. Oh. The thing that sucks is it's harder to search on my phone for these players. I think he was towards the end. TJ Zook, Fraley, Emmanuel Chase. Oh, Louis. Oh, that's a future star. Stubbs, great role or greater role. Honeyman, Eshelman. No, it might have been this guy, Shun Yamaguchi. I might have been seeing. There's Nunez, Kwang Hyun Kim, Dobnik, Duggar, Marlins, Marvel Pirates, Mayfield, Wade Jr., Castro, Webb, Bedner, Kian Wong, O'Grady, Daza, Stamont, Jonathan Hernandez, Junior Fernandez, done. Jose Rodriguez is Angels. Edwin Rios, heard of him too for Dodgers. I must have missed him when I was skipping through earlier. I don't see him. Well, there will be baseball, they say. There will be baseball this season. It will be interesting. I think if somebody hits over 20 home runs in 60 games, that'll be pretty much it for them. Nah, usually baseball players aren't only Panini because you have to be licensed for that deal, and Tops is the only real licensed product. They can get it. Tops gets everybody. Now, if it was football or especially basketball, those guys sign Panini only. That's why, like Upper Deck has Jordan, Simmons, and LeBron solely, and they don't even make cards anymore. I think Panini did it with Zion, if I recall right, last year, to where Upper Deck can't use them. But I mean, honestly, if Upper Deck ever came back, they have the two biggest autographs out there. It'll be Jordan and LeBron. Maybe it will be an update. Oh yeah, Tiger Woods. I remember playing Tiger Woods golf on I think it was Xbox or PlayStation, one of the two. I used to be a killer on that game, man. Used to love it. Tiger Woods is hard to beat too. Gretzky must be something recent because I can recall Gretzky autographs being in Panini products a while back. And I'm talking before Panini lost their licensing for hockey and it was just Upper Deck. It was not Contenders. It was like someone reminded me of looking at like Panini Prime or something. Might have been somewhere around like 2011 or 12 ish. Nice. They never will. I can't believe that's the dog snoring like that. My gosh. I'm really trying to think what I did with her yesterday. She's been out cold all day long. I really don't think I did much of anything. That could be hot. Are they actually letting fans watch the games? I thought there was like some kind of big stipulation you were doing without fans all the games. That's messed up. You're really the only one there. Man, if Mickey Mantle started autographing cards for Panini, I could just see what the price of the Yankees breaks would go to. Even if it was something small like how Tom Brady does, like 25 or so per product, or maybe the most. I'd probably say the most. Most of this stuff's all out of 15. But when you add up all the 15 to 10 to 5 and the ones, it is. Welcome to the anonymous meeting. Can be if you can go watch a live game. See, I'm one of the people, I can't watch baseball on TV. I get bored. So bored. I might be able to catch like a World Series game or the playoffs, but regular baseball games, I just get so bored watching it on TV. But I can sit there and watch a hockey game or a football game. I used to be able to watch basketball, but that pretty much fizzled out around 2000, was that 3-ish, 2-ish, when Jordan retired. Man, I'm trying to think if there's anything even good on tonight to watch now. Yeah, I just can't do it. I've tried it and I fall asleep during when I'm at home. I don't know what it is about baseball games on TV. They just make me want to go to sleep. It's almost like watching golf to me. I'll go to sleep. I just don't get super overly excited, I guess, for it. Wow, that's. Oh, yeah, because if they're starting at 10 something, yeah, yeah. 11 o'clock games, especially the rain delays, yeah. I'll do the auction probably Saturday afternoon. I'll grab that box out and I'll just make sure that all those non-licensed Jordans are nowhere in there, and I'll just run blind stacks. We'll call it blind stack auction day. No idea what's in it. You've seen kind of what was in it, but that was only like maybe 50 cards out of it. I won't even know what I'm grabbing. I'll probably just have the box next to me and just count 10 cards out and put them down. You can see the top card. That's it. Top card is it. I can try blind lot sales too. See what happens. Well, last time I had like two or three people I had to send boxes out to their stuff. My finance lady's been hitting me hard here last month. You need to get more product, more sales, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, let me be. I mean, I don't need to push sales when I had empty boxes sell. She's all about volume, man. I'm telling you. Half the time I see her call, I don't even want to answer the phone. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's really, really good in what she does, but Who is my pick to win the series with a 60 game schedule? Man, with 60 games, anybody has a chance, is the sad part. With the new pitching and everything, hmm. Sadly, I might say the Dodgers, and I'm not a big Dodgers fan. Because I don't know what the schedule's going to look like, to be honest, but if you're playing a lot of your own little league, I would probably say the Dodgers. The Yankees, I would probably normally say, but I've seen them start off real bad, and it took them, till afterwards to get into contention. I I can see a team out of nowhere winning it this year, and I don't even know if you would really even call it a real World Series win. I mean, heck, even the Pittsburgh Pirates have a chance at it. I mean, they usually start off the first half of the year good, and then at the All Star break, they're done. Huh. If that is how they're doing it, I'm probably going to stick with the freaking Dodgers. I would probably really, if that's how the schedules look. Now, I'd like to say the Braves win it or something like that, but I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. You're not playing all the teams all across and all that stuff. That's why I was really trying to think about each little division and stuff. And if you really look at it, I mean, the Dodgers, they have to play like the Padres and the Diamondbacks and stuff. That's why I think they'll make the playoffs pretty easily. And they have enough juice to tank. They could win out some of them series too for World Series, really. But if players do opt out, yep. And then you still got the injuries and stuff. But if I had to pick a wild card team, let's see if I can pull it here. I would probably say because the Pirates start off hot normally during the first half of the year, they'll make the playoffs, and somebody like the Cardinals won't. Man, why does this not work? There we go. Trying to see if there's any other underdog teams that I can think of. I know I'm probably missing somebody. There we go, teams. I know I'm missing somebody. I wonder if they're going to let Toronto stay in Canada and play. That'd be kind of odd. Yeah, I mean, look, they got the Giants, the Padres, the Rockies, and the Diamondbacks, so they're going to kill their thing out. But surprise team, I'd say the Pirates, and probably for half a year playing their own. Man, it could be somebody like the Royals even. Oh, are they? Okay, I was wondering. A's could maybe. I don't know how they're doing all the playoffs this year. If they're going to do something crazy like they're doing in hockey and letting like freaking 24 out of 30 teams in the playoffs, that might be a different story. Now, if they're still running the old brackets for baseball, be interesting for sure. I mean, just with 60 games, it's just a small sample size. That's not even half a real season. So, I mean, think about it. The A's back in the day won like what, 22, 23, some crazy odd number of games in a row. If some team came out there and did that, I mean, you're pretty much putting yourself in contention and can pull off some kind of like miracle on ice, like the USA Hockey did. See, my only fear is this, okay? If you look at Florida, Texas, and California, all three of their COVID numbers are going up drastically. If players end up starting to stay in hotels where they're at and all that other craziness, and they start catching it, they might bump the rest of the baseball season this year. I think I'll be really surprised if they make it to the playoffs without shutting the season down again, with the way the spike in numbers are in just those three states. Yeah, see? I mean, because you got everybody going to those areas for vacations and everything, and that's why I'm thinking off the top of my head. Looked at a post yesterday. Somebody asked how it is in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. One, I would never go there. But two, they were saying that half the restaurants weren't sanitizing properly after people left. People aren't wearing their masks, all this other craziness. And I'm like, yeah, I'll probably just wait. And the most surprising thing I was talking about is a buddy of mine stopped here. I think it was on Monday night. He's getting ready to move out to Vegas next year after he retires. And I said, what's surprising is Nevada doesn't have high numbers, but the majority of the people out there just come to visit Reno and Vegas. So all those people are just going back to their home states and being tested. Nobody knows how many people, travel to Vegas. They're not releasing those numbers. Especially CBC from California. People drive to Vegas. Heck, I think from LA to Vegas was only like 3 or 4 hours. I can't remember. I know it wasn't long. But I do believe it'll be interesting if they can keep their COVID numbers stabilized. The weird thing is, like New York is going down in numbers, but all the big states for vacationing and stuff, they're just skyrocketing. North Carolina is another one because of good old, or no, South Carolina because of Myrtle Beach. I forget what was it. CBC, was it 11 or 21 states that had new high numbers over this past weekend? I think it was 11. I think it was 11. What's going on, hobbyist? I think a lot of the sports might shut down though after their plans come in place and these guys start catching COVID. I mean, look at basketball. What was it? Brogdon and somebody else have recently caught it, and I think hockey had a few people starting to catch it. And they just started doing team workouts. Oh man, Florida's just a big party state to begin with. Whether you're in Destin, Panama City, Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville, Orlando, I mean Boca Raton, all that. What's up, baby C's? I have a funny feeling because whenever they released authority to this disaster to FEMA, see FEMA right now could like outweigh the government. And if these guys start getting a little too crazier, I could see FEMA shutting everything down again. I got to put the cover back on mine. I had it off since last night. I totally forgot to cover it up, but I mean, it wasn't anything bad last night. Man, if I have to go like to the gas station real quick or something, or even when I go in a post office, man, to do a quick package drop off because I missed the late night, putting in for a pickup. Even when I dropped off today, there were people without masks on in the post office. I was like trying to hoard around them, and I'm the person that goes to. If I go out, I wear like shorts and a t-shirt, and when I get in my garage, I do close the garage door so the neighbors don't see it. I fully take off all my clothes and throw it in a washer. I don't know, man. Years of being deployed and stuff like that, and seeing all the funky dory stuff with diseases. I'm just real superstitious on it. Oh gosh, people are following each other, huh? Hey, I barely go out, and the most times I drop to the Blue Bend box before the post office opens. Okay, that way I don't have to see nobody. The only other time I'll go out if I have to get groceries once every 2 weeks. Originally, I had enough supplies for like 2 months. I will go when Walmart or Kroger open at like 7 in the morning, and I'm in and out in like 15, 20 minutes. I don't mess around. I look at the little lines and the arrows, and I follow them, and I zip through. I don't even like stare like, oh, I think I might need that. Oh, look at this. No, I grab and go, grab and go. If I don't get it, my own fault. And the only other thing I'll do is there's like a couple local restaurants around here. Normally once a week I'll go do through their drive-through pickup line, but those dudes are in like full mask, gloves, all this. But I like to try to help them out with whatever I can. A little bit of business. Usually every 2 weeks when I go into Walmart, if I go there, I'll try a look and it's been dry. That one day I had to stop in there because I needed AA batteries and I just hated going in there. I mean, I literally got in, didn't even go anywhere, went right by the register, seen the baseball cards were empty, grabbed my AA's and did a self checkout and out. Seriously, tomorrow's gonna be like my first time being probably really close to anybody with this work thing at the lake. And it was funny. Unless you put in vacation time, that is your place of duty. I'm like, oh, okay. So you're telling me I have to do a group gathering even though it's against what we put out with Department of Defense? Lovely. Because I honestly wouldn't go. I caught. I didn't notice this, but I guess they stocked Bowman in there, and it was pretty much killed out. And the only reason I knew it was in there, I saw the display boxes. There was two of them put in there. Oh man, I think that everybody should have to wear a mask out there for right now. I mean, I got it. It's not like going to prevent me from getting it, but at least it covers people's mouths. Because if you really think about it, how many people sneeze and cough and don't cover their mouth, or they do it in their hand, and they don't sanitize afterwards? I was taught to always sneeze in my elbow or my shirt or something. Don't know if that's the correct thing or not, but hey, some people have actually done pretty good in those retail select blasters. I've heard. See, our guy doesn't even stock the Walmart. If he has stuff, he has to bring it behind because I guess he was being followed around and no kidding. I guess he did like his last drop off and people were following him to his house. I mean, I could justify $20 for 12 cars, but not a retail blaster box of select. Now, granted, if it was $20 on 12 Prism basketball cards, I'd be on it. I'd run that gamble because just one out of a couple rookies would pay it back. I didn't even know the bar opened up down the road. They had people inside and everything. I was like, oof, no. And that's one of the very few bars you could still smoke in out here. And I'm just sitting there thinking, well, you can't smoke through your mask, so. Oh, you did okay in them? Yeah. I see a lot of people, well, at least some people say they pull fire. I don't know. I have no idea if they do or not. Are you live tonight, Anthony? I don't even know. I haven't really been looking at YouTube. I was slaving behind the computer today. Man, the stuff they had us doing. I think I played the match game for about 4 hours trying to match up people coming back from overseas to the United States with different dates. And just trying to wiggle different assignments around each way. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you were alive or not. I guess it is Thursday, huh? My bad. I don't know what day of the week it is anymore half the time. What you all don't know is last Saturday I woke up and I came downstairs and logged in my work computer and started working. And I didn't realize until about 9:30 in the morning that it was Saturday. I had to explain that to the high shed why I was logged in my computer for 2 hours. I was like, honestly, I thought it was I thought it was Thursday. Oh man, because see, with that there, because of me being unionized and everything, they would technically have to pay me for that. And I told them it was just my fault. It wasn't like I did it on purpose to try to catch up on work or nothing like that. I thought it was my normal duty day. Oh, I literally have an alarm on my phone set for weekdays at 4 p.m. to tell me to log off my work computer. Because days like today, I'd forget. I was just kept battling and battling and going between screens and spreadsheets and stuff. And I'm like, looking at it, I forgot about almost going to the post office. Honestly, if the dog didn't come over and probably bug me to go outside, I probably would have forgot. I mean, I still waiting a lot of stuff from Tops. I mean, just not redemptions. I had a bunch of the 2020 stuff ordered probably a month and a half ago. I still haven't seen yet. I probably need to start checking if other people have gotten it and find out what's going on. I just have been keeping myself clear of all the Facebook Raz rooms pretty much, unless something pops up and I'm like, ooh, I like that. Like I was trying to win two Pawson rookie autos from Bowman. They were 9.5 plus BGS, and I was like, I'm in. Let's just say I lost. All right, I'll see you tonight. I'll stop in. I probably need to get some dinner before I come on for your stuff tonight. Oh, that's right. I got a do two screens tonight. I forgot somebody is in a Raz room. They got a Aaron Rodgers autographed jersey going up. I don't remember what he sent me. It's on my phone. Oh, come on. Let's go back. Aaron Rodgers frame jersey. Lamar Jackson autographed jersey. Pete Rose inscribed auto plate 101. Be quite interesting night. I don't know. I haven't really ordered much from off of Topps websites before. And the only thing I ever ordered off of Panini's websites is when they did the Sparkle packs for sale, but those always ship quick. Or if I had redeeming them crazy points that they have. I think I'm still sitting on like 25,000 points. I got to use Panini points eventually. I don't know. They might have a rule where they're not allowed to do autographs. No, well, that's also minor leagues. They might let them. I would just have a mask and some gloves on or something when you hand it to them. At least try to look like it, type deal that you're not trying to pass around the old COVID or get COVID or anything. Well, I'm gonna log off and get me a little bit of dinner, and then try to catch CBC on here at 8. And then I'll either bounce on tomorrow night for a little bit, or if not, it'll be Saturday. I'll debate on doing that auction with that box of stuff behind me. See what day will work probably the best. Maybe Saturday afternoon we'll do it. Not too many people are on. Friday night, like everybody's usually on doing something. I just put it on, bring them, and just put them on whenever you hand them the stuff, type deal. But I am out for the evening. I do appreciate everybody stopping by, and I will. Ooh, I forgot about the giveaway tomorrow because that's not. Well, it'll be here Saturday, so we'll still run. I just won't have it in front of me. I'll just draw it on an index card. Better than that, I'll catch y'all later. Take care. Be safe out there. And if you guys ever have any questions about anything, you always catch me. I have multiple ways of getting me. Hit you up later.